What's good, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Scott from Locked On Wizards. Today, we are going to do mid-season grades for the starters. This is going to be part one of a part two series where we're going to grade the players, coaching, front office, and the team overall. And we're going to do a Knicks preview for tomorrow night. As you know, the Wizards play the Knicks at New York City, 7:30. So let's definitely get into it. It's going to be short and sweet, but let's get into it, guys.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's doing all right. Rolling solo tonight, but it's all right. We're going to keep it short and simple tonight. Thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts. And tonight's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props odds than ever before. BetOnline, where the game starts. So, like I said, this is going to be part one of a two-part series where we're going to do mid-season grades. We're going to grade the players. Like today, we're going to grade the starters, but we're going to grade the young core, bench players, head coach, and front office. But today, just the starters. And then at the end, we're going to do a preview for tomorrow night, 7:30 at New York against the Knicks. So let's get into it. So the starting five that I'm going to be grading today is going to be the current starting five, which is going to be Monte Morris. Now, I know Bradley Beal's out, but the hypothetical big starting lineup, which is going to be Monte Morris, Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, Kristaps Porzingis, and Daniel Gafford. I'm going to grade them off of the core stats. Field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, assists, rebounds, give you a final grade, and go from there. So let's get into it, y'all. I'm going to start out with Monte Morris. Now, Monte Morris, as you know, was acquired from Denver as well as Will Barton for Ish Smith and KCP. Now, inheriting the starting point guard position, he has kind of gotten better as the season has progressed. Now, looking at his stats, currently he averages 10 points a game. He's shooting around 38% from his three-point line, averaging around 5 assists and 3 rebounds. So looking at Monte, now I made it known that I believe that Monte Morris is best served on the second unit as a sixth man or in a bench starting role, or not bench starting role, as a role position as far as running the second unit at point guard. The reasons for that, well, I believe he's very small. Going against bigger guards, longer guards with length, he struggles. But offensive wise, his shot is starting to drop. He is starting to drive the lane. Now, he drives the lane. He has that signature floater and it works for him. He's starting to really penetrate the lane. His 3-point shot is dropping. His mid-range is dropping. So he has gotten better offensively as the season has gone by. But defensively, he can be a weak point for the defense because he is a smaller guard and he struggles against the faster guards, the bigger guards. So that's why I believe that he is best served on the second unit. But right now, being a starting point guard, I think he is doing his thing. He is really settled into being a distributor. Like I said, he's averaging around 5 assists, but he's really setting up guys nice. His assist numbers are getting better and better as the time goes by. So where do I rate Monte Morris this season so far at the midway point? I'm going to give him a B. I feel like, yes, he does have shortcomings when it comes to the defensive end, but on the offensive end, he has really settled into being a distributor. He's trying to drive the lane more. He's trying to pick up the pace a little bit more, and his shot is starting to drop. So I'm going to go ahead and give Monte Morris a B. And again, I want to see what you guys think. Go ahead and let me know, comment below. Let me know where you guys grade these guys. So we're going to move on to Daniel Gafford. Now, as you know, Daniel Gafford was moved into the starting lineup. Western still wanted to make a bigger lineup by playing Gafford at the 5 and KP at the 4, and it works. It really has worked. Now, we have struggled of lately overall as a team, but I feel like this taller lineup gives us the best chance to win. So, looking at Daniel Gafford, looking at his stats, he is averaging around 8 points a game. He is scoring 75% in the field. He is becoming very proficient in the paint. He's showing energy. He's trying to drive the lane more. He's trying to he's not a playmaker, I mean, by any means, but he is starting to try to evolve his game. Now, I said that he is a mid-range jumper away from being a really, really good center in his league because he can defend the paint. He can defend at a high level, but his misgivings are To a certain degree, confidence, but really foul trouble. He has gotten better with it, but he tends to find himself into foul trouble. Whew, excuse me, sweating out here. So rounding out his stats, your average is around 5 rebounds. So I'd want to see the rebounds maybe climb up to around 6, 7 a game. And in blocks, he's averaging around a block a game. So this tall lineup, this twin towers with him and KP, defensively have been anchors in his front court. So where do I rate Gafford? Ah, I'm gonna say a B, just like Monte. I feel like his play has evolved this year. The energy when he's motivated, when the energy shows, he is a very productive player. So I'm gonna rate him as a B. I like where his game is headed. I like the fact that he's trying to drive the lanes, trying to create a little bit more. I believe he is a mid-range shot away from being a really good center. And looking at next season with him going into an extension, I feel a lot better about it, man, considering that he has been playing well. I love his energy. I love his dog. Those dunks, man, and the alley oops and driving lane with power. I love it, man. I love what I see from Gaff. So far, I have rated Monte Morrison with a B and Daniel Gafford with a B. So next, I'm going to slide into the solid three. I know a lot of people say the big three, but me and E call it the solid three. But before I move on to how I grade the solid three, today's episode is brought to you by Rocket Money. If your New Year's goals are to manage your budget better and save money, you need Rocket Money. Say goodbye to last year's outdated, disorganized methods of managing money and say hello to Rocket Money, the better way to hack your finances in 2023. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills, all in one place. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they forget about, like that streaming service you bought just to watch one show, or that free trial that you never even use. Yeah, I just got hit up for that with HBO Max, so I already know. Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones you don't want. Rocket Money makes canceling subscriptions as easy as a click of a button. Simply find a subscription you don't want and press cancel, and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. No more long hold times with customer service or tedious emailing back and forth. Over 3 million people have used Rocket Money, saving the average person up to $720 a year. Good God. I'm going to say it again, $720 a year. So, as far as a personal story here, I'm very guilty for your free trials. I always forget, so definitely this is the app that I definitely recommend for you guys. So stop throwing your money away. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/LockedOnNBA. That's rocketmoney.com/rocket or locked on NBA. Rocketmoney.com/LockedOnNBA. So next, I'm going to slide into the solid three of Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, and Kristaps Porzingis. Excuse me, y'all. So get into the solid three. I'm gonna start with the franchise guy, Bradley, the real deal, Bradley Beal. Now, Bradley Beal has dealt with his injuries this year, and going into his first year under the Supermax contract, you've added certain things like I'm gonna stick to on the court production. Now, there's a few things I'm gonna throw, and along with on the court production, I'm gonna go over some issues on the court and a few off the court, but I'm not gonna grade him off of any off the court issues at all. But looking on the court, he has dealt with his injuries. Now he is averaging around 23 points a game. But if you look at his highest grossing season where he averaged 31 points, well, it was the 2020-2021 season when Russell Westbrook was here. That was his height as far as his highest scoring average. Now, since then, his scoring average has been dipping, but he is shooting scoring around 23 points a game. And if you add in, so you got three guys who can score, who are averaging 20 points in the solid three. So that is one good thing about the solid three. They are all averaging 20 points plus. Now, looking at his 3-point percentage, he is shooting 34%, rebounds around 3.5 rebounds, and assists around 5. I still believe that Bradley Beal is a scorer in this league. He is a top tier scorer in my opinion in this league. Defenses are planning against him. He does take a lot of attention from defenses. I'm gonna take that from Bill. I'm a fan. I'm a long time Wizards fan, and I do. John Wall's my favorite player. I was a Gilbert Arenas fan, but I am a big fan of Bradley Beal. Now, with him being the guy, with him going into a Supermax contract and being that guy, there's certain expectations. If you add bad body language, that has been an issue with Bradley Beal, especially games where we're behind, games we're getting blown out. Bad body language, which I guess on the outside looking in shows people he don't care. It's whatever. But leadership is an issue that he does have. Now, as his production has dipped, but averaging around 23 points a game is solid. It's solid for this team because, like I said, when you have three guys who can score, you know, scoring averages are going to go down. Now, leadership is a knock on Bradley Beal. And injuries, injuries was his issue early in his career. Now he got better with injuries, but he's been very injury prone this year. He's dealing with a nagging hamstring injury, and by no means are hamstring injuries easy injuries. They can linger and they can continue to be issues. So it's right now there's no timetable when he comes back, but I'm not gonna say we don't need him because we definitely need another scorer on the starting unit. So where do I grade Bradley Bill? I'm gonna give him a C. And the reason for that is not his production as a player. Now he is not shooting around 34% from 3 point. He's slightly below average, NBA average, which is around 35%. That's not the knock. I know he's becoming more of a mid-range shooter, like kind of in the mode of DeMar DeRozan, and that's fine because he shoots them at a high percentage. But I think the biggest issue with him as a player on the court production is leadership. I think being that max guy, I'm looking for more leadership. I want him to kind of cut down on the bad body language. I get it that the NBA is different. A lot of guys are friends, and I get that, man. But keep that type of stuff after the game. I don't want to see you giggling with the opponents, the opposing teams, and that's my only knock: bad body language, and a need for him to step up, be a leader. You know, yes, his production has gone down, but I still think he is a good scorer in this league that is much needed on this team. So I give him a C. So let's slide into the unicorn, Kristaps Porzingis. Now he is averaging around 22 points a game. He is shooting around 34%, just like Bradley Beal, around 3 point percentage, 34%. But he's averaging around 9 rebounds and 1.5 blocks. So now I'll say this: he does struggle against bigger centers in this league, but overall, he does well defending the paint. Now, he can become a little too reliant on his jump shot and not playing with his back to the basket as much as he should. And I get it. When you're going against the Bam Adebayos, the Joel Embiids, the Jared Allens, these guys who are big guys, you got to kind of push yourself out to shoot jump shots and 3 point shots. So I get that. But overall, I'm very impressed what I see from Kristaps Porzingis because one, he's healthy. When he's healthy, this shows how good of a player he is. In my opinion, he's playing at an all-star level. He really is. I mean, 22 points average. So where do I grade KP, aka the unicorn? I'm gonna give him a B plus. I feel like with him being a little too quick on the trigger with a jump shot is the only reason I'm giving him an A. Because him healthy, he is playing at a high level. Now, there's been games where he struggled. He's still, there's been many games where he scored 20 points, but he will suffer from efficiency. And I get that. And that comes with being too reliant on a jump shot. But overall, I do like what I see from KP overall this season. So I'm gonna give him a B plus. So finally, to round out the starting unit, we're going to Clutch Kyle Kuzma. Now, he's a lone guy left over from the LA Lakers trade that sent Russell Westbrook to the West Coast. As you know, we traded Trez and we traded KCP. So, Kuzma, let me start by saying this, man. He's a totally different player than he was with the Lakers. He has grown into a complete player who can be a playmaker, who can score at a high level, he can utilize his size. Now, can his efficiency take a hit sometimes? Yes. Sometimes, it takes a lot of shots for him to get those points. It's just sometimes he can be guilty for sliding into ISO, trying to play hero ball. But the aggression, and I had somebody comment that asked me, he said, is it aggression or is it selfishness? It may be a combination of both, but I do feel like that Kyle Kuzma utilizes his size, especially with driving the lane. He has been very clutch going to last season. He's making these clutch shots. He's look at his stats. He's averaging 21.5 points. Again, and 34 must be the number because all three of the solid three are averaging right now 34% from behind the arc. Rebounds, he is averaging 7.5. So he's averaging more rebounds than Gafford. And assists around 4. So he has grown into a complete player. Now, I get it. It's been a lot of, back and forth. You're either pro or, you're not a fan of Kuz. And I get both sides, but I like him as a player. Now, touching into his contract a little bit. Now, there was a tweet that was put out by his mother that says, um, he likes Washington. He likes the Wizards. He likes what's going on here. That the glare of the lights of maybe LA or a lot of these fashion capitals or media hubs, it's been a much needed break for him to get away from that. But then, and then if you look at those reports that the Washington Wizards, per sources, the Washington Wizards said that they fully intend on re-signing him. They're going to do whatever it takes to re-sign him. Now, looking at that, I like Kuz. I would not mind him here long term, but can you flip him for assets right now? Absolutely. And this is a situation I don't want to find myself that Tommy Shepard's in, because does Kyle Kuzma really push you to that point where you could be a top echelon, top tier Eastern Conference team? Right now, that remains to be seen. Maybe a point guard being added, maybe another move being added could short that up. The deadline's definitely going to show us where we're at. But overall, Kuzma, I mean, I like what I see. I give him an A. And I think that, yes, he can, efficiency is a hit on him sometimes. Yes, he can shoot a lot of low percentage, low IQ shots, but his aggressiveness, and he is shown to be very clutch. I think those are the factors that push him past B plus into A. So before we move on, where do I grade the starting unit so far? And like I said, this starting unit to me is the best starting unit that West Sunset has put out. Where do I grade them? I'm gonna give them a B plus overall. I think this is the lineup that works. Now, with DeLon Wright kind of ramping up, coming back from injury, would I mind seeing him take over the starting point guard role from Monte Morris? I think that would be a good move because of DeLon Wright's defense and his ability to shoot from the 3-point arc. But this current lineup with Monte Morris at point, Bill, Kuzma, KP, and Gafford, I'm gonna give them a B minus. I think this is a good lineup. They have their shortcomings, but as a unit, this is a very, very good lineup. So I'm gonna give them a B plus. So so yeah, like I said, I'm very impressed with what I've seen from the starting unit. Now going forward, obviously it's gonna get trickier, but I like what I see from these guys. So moving on. Before we get into the preview for the New York Knicks game, tonight's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline.net is your number one source for sports betting info, stats, news, and analysis. Get the latest odds and trends for every professional and amateur league out there. From pro football to college bowl season to basketball and the World Cup, we got it all at BetOnline.net. And if you love sports podcasts, you can even find those at BetOnline as well. We're always the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info. Here's the website today, or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts. So definitely let me know what you guys think of the of where I graded these guys. I'm gonna reiterate real quick and I'm gonna move on to the preview. Now, overall, I gave the starting lineup a B plus, but Monte Moore's got a B, Bradley Beal got a C minus, Kuzma got a B plus, or really A, my bad. Porzingis got a B plus, and Gafford got a B. So overall, very impressed with the starting lineup. Now we're gonna slide into the preview. Now, tomorrow night, we play in New York City at Madison Square Garden, aka Mecca, against the New York Knicks at 7:30. Now, looking at the preview, we're going to look at the starting lineup real quick and my 3 keys to victory and my prediction, and we're going to go ahead and roll out tonight. Again, appreciate everybody, man, and appreciate everybody tuning in. We definitely appreciate the love from you guys, man. It can be hard sometimes to be a Wizards fan, but it's worth it, man, because we got to love this team. So looking at the Knicks, not much is going to change except for there's a little bit of uncertainty at the 2 guard for the Knicks, but Jalen Brunson, starting at point guard, Jalen Brunson has shown that he can score at a high level. He's really grown into a really good starting point guard for the Knicks. So he will be the starter at point guard. Now, at the 2 guard, it has not been solidified who's going to start, whether it's going to be Emmanuel Quickly or Quentin Grimes. But I would, if I was going to bet on it, I would say Quickly would be at the 2 guard. RJ Barrett, another shooter, man. RJ Barrett can definitely shoot the lights out at the 3. At power forward would be Julius Randle. He has been playing at a high level. And at center, Mitchell Robinson. So definitely it's a matchup to watch would be Mitchell Robinson and how KP and Gafford plays against Mitchell Robinson. But this is the same lineup we just faced at home against the Knicks where they beat us slightly. They're a good team. I mean, they're starting to play better ball. We're definitely in somewhat of the same area. Now they're playing improved basketball where we're kind of sliding, and I believe we're the sixth worst team in the NBA right now. So we're kind of sliding in the standings. We're going in two different directions right now. But I mean, New York's a really good young team. So what are my keys to victory? Number one, rebounding, limiting second chances. Stop giving the team more chances to score in possession, in possessions. Stop possessions. Rebound. Let's get the ball out. That would, that is a big issue for this team, man. The boxing out has been a problem. Rebounding, defensive rebounding has been a problem, and giving the other team second chances. So we got to limit that. That would be one key to beating them, especially when you're looking at Randall and Robinson. They both can rebound at a high level. We have to win the battle of rebounds. Two, communication on the offense and defensive end, especially the defensive end. Lord have mercy. Really communicate in transition, pick up your assignments. No more, a lot of teams mismatch against us. Monte Morris should not be guarding Mitchell Robinson. You feel me? I mean, that's we gotta shore that up. We gotta communicate, and that comes with leadership. Somebody's got to take leadership. Somebody's got to, even if you got to go back to high school, man, the rec ball, point out who you're guarding, man. Communicate. Really figure out the assignments on the defensive end. The offensive end, be on the same page. There's been times where we saw a lack of communication that led to turnovers. Turnovers are starting to become an issue for this team. So communication would be my second key. All right, my third key to victory for the New York Knicks. Having two or more touches per possession. No more one possession, two possession, hot potato, launching the ball at the shot clock. Fluent ball movement, move the ball around, run plays. I want to see more plays from West. Let the offense flow through Kuz, but let's run some plays. None of this. One guy gets the ball, he dribbles for 15 seconds and then hot potatoes it away. Nah, team basketball. More touches. The more touches, fluent passes. That I believe would help us win this game. I believe this is a winnable game, y'all. I mean, it really is a winnable game. Now I do have us losing. We've had our issues on the road. And Madison Square Garden as a whole other animal when it comes to playing on the road. Like I said, that is called Mecca for a reason. So my prediction is 109, 105. Knicks win this. Is going to come down to fourth quarter run by the Knicks. We've been guilty for two things, man. It's starting slow and trying to catch up, or starting fast and letting the foot off the gas and letting teams catch up and go on runs. We are to win this game, which I believe is a winnable game, even though I predicted as a loss. Those three keys, I believe we should be good to go. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Definitely appreciate everybody, man. Definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, I'm rolling solo tonight, man. So definitely show your love for E. And let's try to get this dub. Again, tomorrow night, 7:30, Madison Square Garden. The Wizards play in New York City against the New York Knicks. Let's try to get this dub. Let's try to get in the win column. So thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen today. Now make your second listen game to game, NBA. Every moment, every top performance, every result. Locked On Game to Game covers every game from across the NBA with local analysis that only Locked On can deliver. Follow Game to Game on Locked On NBA. Available on Odyssey app, YouTube, wherever you get podcasts. Now on YouTube, we are close to 3,000 subscribers. So definitely like, subscribe, comment below, hit the notification button, and definitely let us know how we're doing, man. Me and my dude, the real Ed Oliver, we are on Twitter and Instagram. So definitely follow us. We chop it up on game days and off days too, especially with the trade deadline coming up. We are definitely going to be talking about trades, potential trades. It's my favorite time of the year. I'm an armchair GM, so I definitely love the off season and the personnel part of the NBA too. So definitely check us out. And wherever you get your podcast, definitely a 5-star review will be much appreciated. But again, thank you for tuning in, and I hope everybody has a blessed week, and peace. Take care.